Hi, everybody. Welcome to your webinar. My name is Lee Honish. I am here to hopefully fuel you and shift you into dynamic new listings, understanding niche marketing for pre-foreclosure properties. The bulk of this webinar is going to be about teaching you how to dramatically change your lead source, become an expert, and focus on a niche that has provided for me and for my family for quite some time. As I said before, my name's Lee Honish. I have been in real estate and banking since 1988. I've been an asset manager for 3 different banks, starting in 88, then in 93, going to work at GMAC Homecomings. I've also been a realtor, investor, and developer, built houses in Southern California. In 2001, because of my unique background, I was invited to work at IndyMac Bank and wound up as the head of loss mitigation for the HELOC division right as the market collapsed. I was there negotiating and mitigating short sales at the very beginning of the market cycle. Just as my bank went out of business, I became a real estate speaker. I actually left probably about a year before the complete collapse of IndyMac Bank. I went out and started to teach real estate professionals just like you how to work with short sales and the way the banks look at them. And I did that for about 3 years till the bottom of the market actually hit. When we got to the bottom of the market cycle, as you can see from the photo, I have a daughter. She is 14. It was around age 7 or 8 when she realized that I was gone and I needed to spend more time with her. And that was the most important thing to me. I bet you're a lot like me. You're in real estate because it provides a lot of free time and allows you the luxury, right, to have free time and work around that schedule. In 2010, I started marketing directly to people that were in a defaulted state, anybody who was greater than 91 days delinquent. And there's a specific reason for that, right? So at 31 days at 5 p.m., you're 30 days late. At 61 days at 5 p.m., you're 60 days late. At 91 days at 5 p.m., you're 90 days late. The reason that's specific, at 91 days at 5 p.m., 8 out of 10 people don't ever resolve their issues with the bank, right? Their non-payment issues. They'll get modified. They'll file bankruptcy. They'll do a lot of stuff. But ultimately, 8 out of 10 people will transfer title on a property. And the reason I'm telling you that is because it is a lead source. It is a specific niche in real estate marketing that will provide an endless stream of real estate. In 2010, I started to become, I guess, a full-time dad and also did real estate as my primary business. And I created a marketing approach called Monster Marketing. Monster Marketing is permission-based marketing. A man I'd like to call mentor and friend, Seth Godin, wrote a book called Permission-Based Marketing. My approach was very simple. I wanted the homeowners to invite me over to have a conversation about their loan modification and alternatives to foreclosure. And that was the system that I created, and that was 8 years ago. I told a couple of friends in real estate. They told me to create a real estate coaching group and a consulting group. I did. That was literally 8 years ago. In March, it'll be 9 years. We have over 1,000 students across the country who make pre-foreclosure properties their niche in real estate. Today, I'm going to share with you their secrets and their stories, hopefully so that it can inspire you to go help people that are in actual distress and provide for your own family. So today, to answer Margaret's question from earlier, it's about a 45-minute webinar, plus or minus, depending on how long we spend on each section when we get into the meat of it. I will talk about the current market quickly. I will talk about what people are doing for marketing, and then we will get right into it. How to generate a leads list, how to market to them directly, how monster marketing works and what separates it from everybody else and what makes it special. And we will talk about conversion. The specific reason we all know this, right? Objection handling. It's the number one thing when it comes to getting a seller. The reason I'm telling you that, there are only 2 outcomes when you meet with somebody who's missed a payment. And it's because there are only 2 outcomes when you meet with them that I am able to tell you the conversion for people who are actively in default or foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, whatever terminology you want to use. Make it very unique, right? They all have stories. I have been an asset manager off and on over the past 30 years. They all have stories on why they can't pay. They all have stories on why they're going to be able to pay. But in reality, 8 out of 10 of them are not going to pay. And that's what makes this so unique. There is a definite outcome. Because of the definite outcome, you can create a relationship. Because you can create a relationship with them and create trust and like above their trust of the bank, you then become top of mind. Because you're top of mind, you become the advocate to help them in their current situation. And that's how it all works. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. So let's talk about the current market. How did we wind up 2018, right? We had inventory issues. We had higher prices on home that are now starting to come back down. The interest rate went up yet again. Ultimately, the thing to take away from 2018 and going into 2019 for me, we have less buyers, less sellers, less agent. I don't think I'm going to change this slide very much. I might change it to inventory's cooled. Prices are still too high to support the current prices. The interest rates have gone higher, and they're talking about doing it 2 more times. There's only a 50-50 shot on them lowering it, right? So I think they said that the math comes out to housing prices being about 18% higher because of the interest rate hike. So we need prices to depreciate by about 18% to really generate a good buyer interest. I personally think it's just less buyers, less agents, less sellers. And the reason I say less realtors, less investors, right? Because the housing market's cool, there is no fluctuation. So you need to imagine this. We're going into 2019 where the dominant factors are going to be 2 things, in my opinion, right? A housing market that's cooled, an interest rate that's gone up, affordability has become a really tremendous issue. And ultimately, that's sort of an equilibrium within the market. The takeaway you should have in all of that, if you had difficulty getting listings or working with buyers in 2018, those problems aren't going to go away in 2019. The reason I'm trying to teach you guys about niche marketing and to specifically go after one specific data type, they aren't predicated based on the market trends. They can only increase or decrease based on the market trends. The reality is, I think the biggest problem that I foresee by far, right, is the amount of fraud that they saw in the third quarter. I was just reading mortgage fraud reports for November, so I'll have the fourth quarter numbers probably from my webinars next year. But the reality is we have a lot of negative equity homes in the United States, right? So that's only going to increase. My greatest fear, right, because over half the properties in the United States are held as rental property. That's a fact. We aren't increasing inventory. Our inventory ultimately, overall, the number of houses available for you, for me, for anybody to buy or sell is decreasing year over year. They're not building enough new houses, right? So every time there's a foreclosure, those are bundled up and those are sold to third parties on Wall Street mostly. That is, instead of them lending money to loan, now they're buying property to rent. That's the commodity that's happening. And that's the big real estate trend. My biggest issue is if those people decide to sell because the market is cooling or depreciating, that will create too many properties on the market all at once, and that will create an even steadier and greater decline. All right. Here's how it would happen. It's not based on the loans. Although there was a great deal of fraud committed in the third quarter and the fourth quarter of this past year on people trying to purchase beyond their means, it's a small percentage. The default rate will increase next year by 1 or 2%. It will. It's just an inevitable factor of people buying houses that were too expensive. My greater issue is with people who did all of that, who are able to make payments, who are in a negative equity situation, and them starting to flood the bank to start looking for loan modifications and creating what's called a strategic default. That's a very common term going back to 2006 and 7, where people were told that it's in their best interest to stop making payments and renegotiate the terms of their loans. All of these factors combine, right? You have to endure the entire winter to get to what we consider the hotter part of the season, which is summer. So again, I'll say this. If you're having difficulty right now getting listings, working with buyers, the trend going probably all the way until May will be extremely difficult. The only question is, as we get closer to May and prices come down and the number of houses with negative equity go up, and the people who, did 120% debt to income ratios based on fraudulently creating their applications, what is that going to do to the market? Nobody seems to know completely for sure, let alone the volatility of our current political structure. I'm not on either side of the coin. I'm just telling you it's very volatile. It has a great effect on Wall Street. I just know that affordability is an issue. I know that inventory is an issue. It's been an issue with the National Association of Realtors for a long time. And these are the things you need to look at. What is the future for me? Okay. And I'll say it. It's going to be harder than last year to find new listings. I just genuinely believe that. And it's kind of a hangover effect from prices increasing. They're going to see less investors on the market. You're going to see less house flipping on the market. It's going to be a very cool period in real estate. So because of that, I can't recommend enough. You really need to wrap your brains around looking at being a specific specialist in a market. So to do that, you need to understand the current competition for listings, right? Anybody who's looking for new listings, right? The 1.4 million agents that are out there, the other million investors, they really work and operate off of basic marketing. And that's the focus. The focus will always be in real estate from an educational standpoint, not on marketing, because we only teach 3 basic forms of marketing, or the fact that everybody can do it in massive amounts with bigger budgets. That's reality. Door knocking, cold calling, and mailers are just done in a large number. What the focus is for real estate professionals like you in the offices, for me, most people in real estate focus on the conversion. My opinion, I'm a marketing guy, okay? Before I can coach you to what the objection is, before I can discuss coaching you to what an objection is, you need to be able to have leads. You need to have people that are interested in selling their homes. These are very basic principles that get overlooked. And when you look at people who teach conversion, their answers are really simple. Well, you knock on doors. Well, you cold call the expireds. You send out mailers. Everyone knows this. The numbers in real estate really haven't changed. They've fluctuated up and down a little bit, but the reality is everybody does the 3 basic forms of marketing. There have been no innovations in marketing. Then the next problem you really need to wrap your brain around, which was a bigger problem not this past summer, but the summer before, is when we saw the emergence of people going online. 85% of buyers and sellers go online when they're buying or selling a home, right? So now you're competing with Redfin and Zillow and Purple Brick, which is, if you look at the emerging real estate trends or read any of the articles, the reality is those companies are going to take a bigger forefront. I just recently said this on one of my coaching calls to my students. I am still in shock that the National Association of Realtors has not sued. I believe it's Purple Bricks who's running the ad. They keep calling it the antiquated MLS. The things that we pay for, the tools that get used to buy and sell homes, are being referred to, in my opinion, as slanderous things like antiquated and out of date, like using there needs to be a positive campaign, and that's just not happening. We don't really have a voice, and we can't really stand up to what's happening online. So Zillow, Redfin, Purple Brick, they're moving in and creating these online real estate agencies to suck up the people that are going online looking to buy or sell. Online brokerages will continue to eat up the lead source. There's no sound? Does everybody have sound? Sandy Williams said no sound. Does everybody have sound? Everything I have says sound. Kathy, are you raising your hand because there's sound? Okay. Nope, just Sandy. Okay. Sandy's all taken care of. All right, we're all good. You guys are all still with me. Thank you, Lawrence. And we have low inventory issues. I don't know why everybody ignores this, right? So we've got a high competition level of trying to get our hands on buyers and sellers. I mean, that's the reality. That's where we are. And I don't know why people don't accept that. So if you're struggling to get listings in the current market, and if you are willing to accept some, if not all of the factors making real estate difficult right now, I would like to suggest to you a method that is provided for me and for my family. It is niche marketing for pre-foreclosure properties. There are 3 niches in real estate that are timeless, that will not go away, that have been the same for the last 30 years that I have been in real estate. The first is probate, the second is divorce, and the third is pre-foreclosure. Now, I immediately eliminate probate and divorce. There are too many variables in the marketing and the conversion. For those of you that have worked probate, you know this for a fact. It isn't about finding a family member. It's about finding trustees. It's about finding who's actually in charge and can be a decision maker. That's a struggle from a marketing standpoint. Forget the conversion or even understanding probate or who's going to pay for the attorney, which is really, I think, the biggest issue. Then there's divorce. Again, finding the decision maker. I've been divorced a couple of times. So when you're going through a divorce, it's hard to get 2 people on the same page. Each party has an attorney. Again, decision makers and getting somebody to actually sign off. Again, variables. And then the biggest problem is the actual conversion of getting both parties to agree and sign off on the sale of their property. That leaves pre-foreclosure. And the reason I tell you that, people with equity, people without equity are being foreclosed upon. Both sides. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. When I normally say pre-foreclosure or default or missed payments, people automatically think I'm saying short sale. That is not actual. People with equity are being foreclosed upon. I don't know why that is. I've never understood in 30 years of doing asset management work. I will never, literally, I will never understand why a homeowner allows their house to go to sale when there's equity in the house. It's mind-boggling to me, actually. The other reasons I like pre-foreclosure are really simple, right? Pre-foreclosure has some really great attributes. The good news is that what you're currently doing to get listings probably doesn't work based on the market conditions. Working with distressed properties will always create listings for you. And here's why. They are literally the ideal listing. Okay. First is what I call the big 3. When you're working with a person who has missed payments on their home, they don't answer the door, they don't answer the phone, and they don't read their mail. That literally eliminates all people in real estate from approaching them. That is a fact. These people just don't do those 3 things. The next thing, they're not going online. They're not looking at a Zillow's estimate. I've eliminated that issue. They need to sell, not want to sell, right? It eliminates the flaky seller syndrome. And once they must sell once they actually list, right? So I've eliminated all the flaky seller issues, right? Like, oh, I changed my mind, or I want a higher price. I want to hold out till the market changes. That's not what's happening here. Once they list it, they go. And they'll take anything, and they'll take cash offers. They'll work with investors. There are so many options and variables because they are in a situation where they need to sell, right? That's what makes niche marketing special. They need to sell. What makes probate, divorce, and pre-foreclosure special? They need to sell. They have to do it. That's what, it really separates it from expireds, canceleds, probates, and FSBOs, in my opinion. All right, so let's talk about the 3 steps for listing. If you're on this call, don't worry. I will show you a solution for distressed properties that will create an endless supply of listings for you. Very straightforward, very simple. It's only 3 steps, and I'll actually do some of these live on the screen. This is Randy Kishore. Can you imagine? He moved from Central California to Orange County without any leads, any sources of leads. Literally signed into a new brokerage, and in 3 weeks got 3 listings totaling over $75,000 in commission. Monster works. Just do it. I need to ask you guys all a favor at this point. Okay? I need you to forget everything you know about really, really hard marketing. I think that's some weird propaganda created by people who want to sell you marketing. Okay? Or that it's really hard to do anything for that matter. I am a firm believer in simple. I myself am a very lazy person and a very simple person. If it's too complicated, it's too hard. I'm usually a little too lazy to actually do it. The marketing that I'm about to show you was created by me, for me, because I understand this about myself. But I also understand real estate because I've been in it for 30 years and I understand the complexities of what people want to tell you is happening. There isn't a lot of complexity here, right? Step one is to identify. We need to find those who need to list their house. That's why we're working with pre-foreclosure. It's public data, okay? That's one of the strong things about working in a niche. It is information you can always get your hands on, and it's public. Step two, monster marketing. Go out, put up marketing. I can tell you firsthand, I still go out and put up my own marketing on properties to get listings. Step three, list. Meet with homeowners guarantee. I am the only person in real estate that can guarantee to get you face-to-face with people that are in default. I can. I guarantee it. I'll give you your money back if I can't do it. It's literally that much of a guarantee. To me, I don't know of anybody in real estate that's been able to guarantee me a face-to-face qualified appointment for any reason without asking for 20% of my commission. I don't do that. This is a marketing program and a coaching program. So it's very straightforward. In fact, I'm going to explain to you exactly how it works and the simplicity behind it. And that is the beauty of our program. It was designed to be inclusive. Because of this marketing approach, this monster marketing approach that I'm about to teach you, I have been named one of the most innovative marketers in America for the last 3 years. So I am happy to share with you a very simple and easy, straightforward approach to getting face-to-face. I don't know if any of you imagine being one of the top realtors or brokers in your area. This is Steve Hawks. He called monster marketing one of the most effective systems in the market. Anybody can reach people. With this system, you can connect with people. You can reach 1,000 homeowners a week, but what good is it if you don't connect? And I agree with him. All right. This is where I pop up my extra screen. See how this goes. I'm going to check in with all you guys. It's the step-by-step part of the program. There we go. Show of hands. Everybody's good to this point? I got a big room. There we go. Kathy, David, thank you for raising your hand. P, Steve. Okay. Everybody's doing good. I am literally going to go. Thank you, Margaret. I'm going to go step by step on this. I think that's important. It's just the way I operate. Thanks, Andy. And I'm going to go step by step through each section so that you guys understand it. I'm one of those guys who goes to webinars just like all of you, right? I'm one of you. I go to webinars. I'm always looking for ideas. I realize that my coaching program isn't for everybody. It's for a select few that want to work with me. I get that. But I watch a lot of webinars because I'm always looking for a good marketing idea that will generate more listings for me. And the number one thing that I see is you spend the first 15 or 20 minutes presenting your side of the approach, you present the problem, and then when it gets to the actual solution, they don't show anything. There's nothing tangible happening. There's no takeaways. There's not even a warm, fuzzy idea from some of these webinars. It's just a funnel into a webinar jam replay by a robot you guys understand, right? Does that make sense? So I kind of do my best here to give you guys some actual meaty content. So let us move forward, shall we? And I don't want that. All right. Hopefully now that you've changed your mind and your mindset, decided to work in pre-foreclosure properties with me, you need to easily select homeowners that have missed their payment. Let me give you some search criteria. There are 3 ways. Feel free to write these down. There are 3 ways to get your hands on pre-foreclosure data. Okay. You can get it from your title representative or closing attorney if you're on the East Coast. The second location you can go to is down to the county recorder's office, whatever terminology you use for your local city or ordinance. It's public data. That's why I like it. It's public data. How did you get my information, right? What's the number one thing people say to you in this? How did you get my information? How do you know about this? Public data. Okay. Public. That means anybody can find out this information. All right. The third way to do it is to go online. There are 2 ways to do it. The first is with a company called Property Radar. Yes, that's me typing real time. Is Property Radar. The second is Realty Track. Depending on what state you're in, right? Depending on the state you're in, that's how you decide. California, Nevada, Florida, Arizona is Property Radar. I have found that their data for those states seems to be very good. Realty Track seems to handle the rest of the country pretty well. That's just my personal experience. Okay. Now I have search criteria for you with that data. Got it? I like housing diversity. I like high end to low end. I tend to focus on single family resident homes. I don't do, and I'll do condos, but I don't do mobile homes. I don't do commercials. I don't do multi-units because I don't know where the owner is. So here's my search criteria. Feel free to write it down. It is the exact one that I use. Owner occupied property. That's a moral imperative. Must be an owner occupied property. Number 2, I remove bankruptcies. And lastly, I make sure that the property is not listed. The number one question I get, so I'll save it, which is, I get this all the time. What about if their sale date's tomorrow, right? If their auction or sale date is next week? Doesn't matter. I don't care when the notice of default was filed. I don't care when their notice of sale was filed. Either of those is fine. I don't care if their notice of sale is the day you're going out to put up the marketing. Go put up the tag, go put out the marketing. Okay. It's just that simple. Everybody by a show of hands understand the criteria. So what it looks like, good. Any questions about the criteria? Now you can get it from a title rep if they allow for it in your state. You can get it from, good, Margaret. You can get it from one of those 2 online companies that I just showed you. I'm going to pull down for you guys a data list. If I can find it. We'll see. I'm going to show you what a data list actually looks like. If I can find it. Yeah, there we go. So when you get a download from your title company or from Property Radar, this is a Property Radar pool, right? They give you this weird radar ID number. Don't need it. I like their APN. I don't need their county. I like their address. City, state, zip. I don't need the owner full name together. I want owner first, owner last. Then the rest of this, in my opinion, is stuff that I can't use. Now, all of these little data factors are the reason why some data providers are better than others. All of these little data triggers, I don't want to get into a really geeky code discussion of algorithms, can screw up data searches. But this right here is the real deal. It's from November 15th. I did this search for a webinar. So I have a formula, and I'm going to share it with you. I select usually 36 homes. That takes me a couple of hours to go put out the marketing. It should generate 6 phone calls to my automated system. 3 people should invite me over to have a conversation. If I do that each and every week consistently, I generate 1 listing per month. Everybody got it? Can everybody get to this point by a show of hands? Kathy's good. 1 person. Lawrence is good. Are there any questions about data pulling at this point? This is a good point to ask questions. Are you good, Margaret? Did it all make sense for you? Sandy's good. Lawrence is good. Kathy is good. And the other 30 people on the call are just watching. Okay. You can just watch. There we go. We got 1 more. I like you guys for clicking. All right. Kay, you're good? All right. Everybody's good. All right. Let's keep it simple, shall we? Let's continue with our simple. I'm going to copy 12 addresses. Again, I don't know what your lives are like. I have a 14-year-old daughter who's in color guard, which means the amount of time I have to go physically go out and put up marketing is very limited because I'm usually sitting in a line picking up my daughter from high school or taking my daughter back to high school or taking her to a piano. You guys get it, right? Okay. So I like to put out 12 per day over the course of a week. So I'll copy 12 addresses. Here's another pro tip. Now that you've got your data, I'm going to use something called rootexcel.com. Keep it simple. I'm going to map out. I'm going to click on import. I'm going to right click and paste 12 addresses and then import them. And this is what it should look like if it's working correctly. It'll map these out. Everybody think they can handle this? By the way, you guys are on your way to being monster marketers. Good job, Kay. Very simple. Look at how easy that is. Okay, now I'm going to click Find Route. It's going to give me a beginning and an end for going out. Look at that. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go put out my marketing. It's just that simple. 12 should take me about 90 minutes. If the map is really good, maybe about an hour. Okay. So I can fit it in before or after my daughter's classes. All right. Now I'm physically going to place marketing on the property. I'm going to bet a few of you are just like me. I get a little scared meeting potential homeowners, right? Don't worry. With this proven method, you're not meeting with the homeowner directly. I'm not knocking on the door. I'm not meeting the homeowner. Got it? I'm going to place a marketing piece called the monster marketing piece that's about the size of a name label with some information on it in one of 3 locations, either the mailbox, the outside of the mailbox, the front door, or the garage door. Got it? By design, that marketing piece is going to prompt the homeowner to call for more information. That information will go to a call center. It's part of an automated system. I need to make this a permission-based appointment. I need it to be a qualified appointment. I need them to know who I am and why I'm coming over. So I have very specific scripts that I've worked out over the last 8 years for pre-foreclosure homeowners based on my expert knowledge of asset management. So I want to capture their cell phone. I want to capture their email. And I want the homeowner to know that I'm going to come over and talk to them about their loan modification and their alternatives to foreclosure. Then schedule an appointment based on my daughter's time, not mine. My time's not my own. I don't know about the rest of you if you have teenagers, but my time's not my own. So they will then schedule an appointment based on my limited free time. Now, from a psychological standpoint, that actually creates expertise and authority. I'm winning the game before I go to the front door, right? I've eliminated all the issues that really make this data unique. They're taking control. It is a permission-based system, and they're setting up the appointment over the phone. Everybody got it? It's just that simple. Show of hands, you guys are all good to this point? That's how it works. Good. Now I'm going to meet with homeowners, okay? Thanks, Margaret. Now, there are two types of people in real estate. There are those who work insane hours doing the same thing over and over again, looking for a result from bad marketing. It's also the definition of insanity. Then number two, there are those who take advantage of proven systems to succeed. In my 30 years of real estate, if you get more face-to-face appointments, you will get more listings. If you implement a system to get face-to-face appointments, you will get more listings. If you use a specific niche and a funnel, right, where you can create trust and like and expertise, you have a system and a funnel that will never go away in real estate. Got it? And that's the reason I'm telling you this. When you meet with homeowners on a consistent face-to-face basis, you will get listings. So when you go to meet with homeowners, you're going for two reasons. I'm happy to share this information with you and talk a little bit about conversion, right? There are only two things that are going to happen at the front door with pre-foreclosure people. And by the way, you can take this as the biggest takeaway. If you guys just decide to leave here and start knocking on the doors of people who are actively in foreclosure, there are only two things that are going to happen at the front door. I don't think you're going to get a lot of face-to-face time, so they don't answer the door. But let's just say you wait in the bushes and jump out and yell, surprise, you're in foreclosure, I guess. There are two things that will happen at the front door if you actually have a meaningful conversation. Number one, they need to sell their home. They're ready to sell their home. Okay, so all you need is really a listing presentation and a script. That happens. They've already failed to make their payments. They've already failed to modify. They've already failed with their forbearance agreements. They failed with their attorneys, failed to keep postponing. They're ready to sell, right? And I like to call that right place, right time. That happens. It's wonderful when it happens. It's great. Then there are those who are working with their bank, right? Working with a bank. They're working with an attorney. They're working with somebody. The other thing that will happen, I guess is the best way to describe it. They will tell you they've got it taken care of. Okay? I'm there to build a relationship and deliver my information and my script. And I want to share with you guys a pro tip at this moment. And it's really simple. Everyone, by and large, the bulk of the people you will meet, they will tell you they've got it taken care of. What have I learned in 30 years of being an asset manager and working with people with missed payment? They got it taken care of. We got it all taken care of. Got it taken care of. Doesn't matter if they're suing the bank, getting a loan mod, getting a forbearance agreement, getting somebody to lend them the money. They got it taken care of. Okay, just assume it all. That the bulk of the people you will meet who have missed a payment, and I guess this is why most people avoid working with pre-foreclosure. They don't know how to overcome this objection. What they think is the biggest problem is overcoming the objection, when in reality, all of you just need to build a relationship with them. They need someone they trust and someone they like. They don't really care about expertise, okay? Because their biggest issue right now is that they trust the bank or their attorney or whomever is doing the right thing by them. The reality is this, and I am telling you this with all of my expertise I can. People who don't pay, don't pay. This is a 30-year-old fact. It's a very difficult fact for people to swallow. They think that if they get a loan modification and their rates get lowered or their payments get lowered, they'll continue to make the payments and everything will be fine. People who don't pay, don't pay. That's just an absolute fact of my business. It is the fact. They're going to have to sell it. You're either going to help them sell it or the bank's going to help them sell it. That's the way I like to see it. That's the way I coach it. That's the way I profess it. Okay? So the number one thing you are going to hear, here's your pro tip. The number one thing you're going to hear out of anybody who's missed a payment, even if you meet them I got to take care of. Here's your response. That's great. I'm really glad you've got it all taken care of. I'm glad you're going to win the lottery. I'm glad you got a loan modification. I'm glad you got a forbearance agreement. I'm glad you're going to sue the bank. I hope they pay you money. But the reality is the title records, the public information indicates that you still have a notice of default, that you still have a sale date, that you still have an auction date. Could we just please sit down and call the bank and confirm this information? That's all you got to do. Does everybody understand? That creates trust. If you create trust, then you are top of mind. Now it is a reciprocating. I can get into all the deep psychology of this. If you guys really want to care, I've literally dedicated 10 years to marketing specifically for real estate listings. And I can tell you all the triggers that are about to happen. Once they sit down and once they call, you're top of mind. Once you're top of mind, you have expertise, you have trust, and all you have to do is be likable at that moment. And I'm not even sure how important that is, right? Once you are top of mind and you've created that relationship as a homeowner advocate to people that are in distress, somebody that's genuinely helped them and given them information and not just a story to get money out of them, you become their trusted advisor. And how many times have all of you heard this? This is a real question. By a show of hands, how many of you have heard in your brokers meeting or coaching groups, being the trusted advisor is the most important thing for a real estate professional right now, right? It's almost like a broken record. It's like the number one thing I hear all the time. The trusted advisor, trusted advisor, trusted advisor. Want to be a trusted advisor? Go in there and do something that will make you the trusted advisor literally immediately. Let's call the bank. You've got public records. That's a problem. Does that make sense to everybody? Checking in with all of you at this point. Makes sense. Thanks, Margaret. Kathy, Kay, good. You guys are doing good. I don't know what everybody else thinks. That I'm crazy? That's how I get my listings. It's literally that simple to get listings. That's how I do it. This is Nino Sabroso. He got 4 appointments his first week using Monster Marketing. 2 of those appointments turned into listings within 10 days of using the product. It is that simple. It's an endless supply of leads and listings if you continually work it and put out the marketing. And again, it's as simple as making a list. Find those who really need to sell their homes in your area. Step 2, go out, put out Monster Marketing. Step 3, list the property. Meet with the homeowner, guaranteed. For those of you that are brand new or you're scared or it's your first time working in the field, this is Susan Sayedi. As a brand new broker in real estate, she got her, in her first week, she got 5 face-to-face appointments. In her second week, she got 7. And after 3 weeks of doing Monster Marketing, she got her first listing in real estate. I remember my first 3 weeks. I didn't get my first listing. I'm just being perfectly honest. So beginners can be just as successful as top producers when it comes to working with, distressed properties. And again, it's as simple as I can make it. Put out 36 marketing pieces. You should get 6 calls to the call center. 3 of those will convert to face-to-face, and I actually guarantee the result. I don't know of anybody else in real estate that can actually guarantee face-to-face results with their marketing. They might be able to guarantee a phone call. They might be able to guarantee a lot of stuff, but guaranteeing a qualified face-to-face appointment where you know the data type, they know why you're coming over, they know why you're having this discussion, and you're paying less than 20% of the actual commission. I don't know of. I literally, if I did, I'd sign up for it, to be perfectly honest, because that's a great system. This is Marianne Schmelz. This is about having a radical and dynamic, literally a supernatural experience and success. She was a cold caller and a door knocker. Having homeowners call her instead of her chasing leads was a complete 360 turnaround. I read 360 because it amuses me as a banker. Should be a 180. She went from 0 listings to 17 thanks to Monster, and still does it consistently. It is the bulk of her business. So I would like to give you 3 options at this point in the webinar. Number 1, you can use mailers, door knocking, and cold calling and get very few leads and compete with every other agent in your market. But you will be working in distressed properties if you use the tools that I gave you from this webinar. I I'm just telling you what's out there and what you're up against. Number 2, do nothing. Stay exactly where you are before you showed up on this webinar. Hopefully you got some good information about next year. And hopefully you understand why you should become a specialist, like a doctor or a lawyer with a specialist, so that you make yourself bulletproof for 2019. Or 3, you can give Monster Marketing a guaranteed try. Do whatever is going to be easiest for you and to provide for yourself and really help others. I mean, ultimately, that's why we're in real estate. It's to be advocates. It's to help homeowners make a decision if they're buying or selling. Okay. So I'm going to show those that are interested in joining the coaching program what's included, what the investment cost is. It'll take a couple of minutes, and then I'll be happy to answer questions at the end. So first and foremost, with Monster Marketing. First are the Monster Marketing pieces. While Monster is a marketing approach and system, part of it is actual marketing pieces tested by hundreds of real estate agents and investors. The call center. We have 2 different providers for you to choose from with contact information. On average, these providers cost approximately $60 a month. That is an additional charge, but they are trained on the Monster system and they have our scripts and they are monitored by us. 3, the Monster Marketing follow-up sequence, tongue twister. The Monster follow-up sequence training, right? So follow-up is crucial, but following up efficiently is just as important. Monster Marketing includes a proprietary and tested follow-up sequencer to turn all of your face-to-face appointments into listings or referrals. Actually, what I've been saying on coaching calls, everyone you meet is a buyer, a seller, or a referral. And that is our big focus in our coaching group this year. The marketing device and delivery method, both the Monster Marketing piece would have little value if not for the way they are delivered. Both the marketing device and delivery method are part of the Monster's secret sauce. The delivery package and the delivery scripts. When you're going on your appointment, we don't want you to go empty-handed. We put together a complete delivery package for you and for your niche that you can tweak literally for your market. We will also give you the scripts on how to deliver that information to the homeowner so that you can build and bond with them so that you can become their trusted advisor. How do we do it? Many of you have been in other coaching programs, so you understand the value of this. We do a one-on-one live on-screen startup coaching call. You get a 1-hour startup coaching call to help you get the Monster system up and running for appointments this week. Your coach uses the system. There are only 3 of us in this program. We are a mom and pop program. There are 3 of us. All 3 of us use the Monster system to get face-to-face with distressed property owners. All 3 of us coach. All 3 of us are available. All 3 of us are online. We are not some big, giant, weird corporation. I've kept it that way on purpose so that we can all share and exchange ideas. So you'll get a one-on-one coaching session live on the screen, how to pull data, how to set up your marketing pieces, right? Then how to go out, map it, get it ready to go out and put up. And then we will work with you on your delivery package and your delivery script and role play with you until you're comfortable. We will then talk about the data that's being collected at the call center, which is cell phones, emails, and how to use that data so that everyone you meet is a buyer or a seller or a referral. I can't stress it enough. The Monster Marketing Manual, the complete step-by-step Monster Marketing Manual, where to start, what to use, what to say. The Monster Marketing System is an out-of-the-box solution. There's no need to invent or add anything. We have been doing it for 8 years, going on 9 in March. We have over 1,000 students across the country using these methods, and we are beyond confident that we can teach each and every single one of you on this call today how to get face-to-face with homeowners that are distressed and how to have a conversation with them and how to create a relationship, how to overcome their objections, how to create the position of being their trusted advisor so that ultimately they give you the listing. Monster face-to-face training. Research is showing you have 90 seconds to build your credibility on your first appointment. We come with weekly group coaching to convert all of your face-to-face appointments. I can't say it again. Buyer, seller, referral. Like I'm saying it so ad nauseum on my coaching group. I feel like I'm marching up the hill alone sometimes. But the reality is we teach you how to you only have 90 seconds. I want you to have 20 to 30 minute conversations at the front door. So we do group coaching every week. We usually cover a current event. We keep you up to date on current event. We do Q&A. We do accountability. We actually, for the next 4 weeks, I'll be doing interviews because my coaching partner is away getting married. He's a top broker here in Southern California, but he got married just a couple of weeks ago, or about a week ago. So I will be interviewing the investor that I work with. I will be doing Property Radar Realty Track sessions. I think we're going to do a credit repair session. Haven't really decided on the fourth yet, but I'm going to do all those things over the next 4 weeks. I want to try to create, I say this, every year I try to create more and more value because it's value for me, right? I don't want to get lazy. This is a program that I actually use as well to get my listings. And then we do yearly masterminds. We have a handful of monster summits held in different cities throughout the year. Each summit has a unique lineup of speakers who are experts in different areas of real estate marketing. You guys all get to attend those events for free. We found a really good, solid place that we've been doing it now. It'll be the second year. It'll be Pasadena. We're going to do it the first week of February. I'm actually going to confirm that this week. You get one-on-one time with me and all of the coaches. We bring a unique lineup of speakers who actually use the product motivationally and otherwise. I think I'm also doing Palm Springs in a couple of weeks. Wherever I am, I try to meet with my coaching students as well and talk marketing. I usually book out my rooms for about 3 hours when I'm speaking on a national level and leave the last hour, or what I call the let's all put the chairs away together and let's talk marketing portion of the program, and meet with all of my coaching students across the country. But we do masterminds throughout the year. We do about 2 or 3 of them in various locations. We used to do them exclusively in Las Vegas. At my birthday, we've stopped doing that. Pasadena seems to be more popular. I got outvoted 2 years ago. I'm trying not to be grumpy about it. As I said before, we do weekly coaching. Again, this is creating more arrows in your quiver so that you can be successful and convert to listing. Our weekly group coaching covers accountability, training, Q&A, conversion scripting, advanced marketing techniques, data collection, interviews, case studies. Our archive is close to 1,000 hours. Everything that we create, be it video, be it audio, is in the form of a podcast or a replayable video on GoToWebinar on my exclusive channel for my coaching students. Everything is cataloged. Everything is about making you the best possible person in this field, because you will be getting face-to-face, or we will refund 100% of your investment. There is no risk to invest. Now, I'm not sure if this is for all of you, but for those of you looking to ignite your listing engine and increase the amount of money you can make this winter, fall, before it's summer, right? And really genuinely help people who are making really bad decisions that are in distress and be able to provide for your family, I would like to give you some bonuses for taking action right now on this call. First is 30 days of unlimited text and email support. I want you to basically have a default Wikipedia at your disposal, right? So if we give you email and text support in your first 30 days, your conversions will be that much quicker and that much better, because we'll be able to help you and answer questions for you. Bonus number 2, every upgrade to the system for life. I'm not going to be looking for a monthly fee. I know that most coaching programs do that, right? Where they do the, here's the investment fee, here's the monthly fee. No, I get it. Things are difficult. So anything new that I create, any data types, starting next year, we're actually going to be doing annual renewal fees. The prices will double. So once you invest in this program, you're in the coaching program for life as of December 31st at midnight. So It's so many proven systems that have been tested for years and years at every level of realtor and investor, plus the added success bonuses. Just remember the marketing pieces, the call center scripts and referrals, all tested. The follow-up sequencer, the delivery method, the delivery scripts, the delivery packages, all taught to you live, one-on-one, and on the screen. Our monster marketing manual, our group coaching, and our yearly masterminds, plus so much more. It would become almost boring to just keep going over everything that we create for our students. All the documents I've talked about, all the delivery packages, the 30 days of unlimited text and email support, access to a Facebook group where you can in real time talk to me, to the other coaches, the other people in the program. And the final bonus, for the first 3 people to invest on this call right now, you will get your one-on-one coaching call in the next 24 hours. So you can immediately start getting listings right now before the new year. Just remember Steve Hawks, the #1 broker in Las Vegas, calling Monster Marketing one of the most effective. Nina Sabroso getting 2 listings in 10 days from Monster Marketing. Susan Sayetti, as a brand new broker in the business, 3 weeks in, she got her first listing. Marianne Schmelz, who was a door knocker and a cold caller, converting out to Monster Marketing, going from 0 listings to 17 because of Monster. And Randy Kishore, who moved out of his area of Fresno, California, to Orange County without any leads whatsoever, and in 3 weeks got 3 listings totaling over $75,000 in commission. Monster Marketing does work. Just do it. So trust us to spoon feed you your next listing. This is a special link that I would like you guys to all put into your computer right now. I want you to open up a browser and type in www.leehonish.com. 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 For a one-time investment of $9.97, no monthly fee to me. Okay. Your investment is one time and you're in the coaching program for life. Starting next year, there will be an annual renewal fee. Okay. This is a very limited time offer. I don't think I'm doing any more webinars before the end of the year. First 3 people who sign up will get their coaching calls right now in the next 24 hours. Just imagine the impact you can immediately start to have. So do what's in your best interest to help you and serve others. I wish you all the success in the coming year. I hope you guys really focus on niche marketing. And I really hope you decide to make distressed properties, pre-foreclosures, your niche for the coming year.